Hello. Today, another project. Everybody know what is this chainsaw. In time to time, there is a maintenance time that had to be done, at least the blade, and sometimes even in the motor itself. But in this case, that won't be necessary. Only thing is this blade. Chainsaws, tools, and how they are performing while doing sawing, tree felling, so on. And I had to last time make an emergency tree cutting on the road. There was dry tree fell at top of middle of the road, and during that sawing I did notice that these tools are sharp. You can tell if the chips that are coming from the sawing or in that situation when you are sawing, and you can observe these chips, what kind of shape, or let's just say if there is dust, sawdust, I mean that's really dusty. Those are indications that something is going on your chain's tooth, which means you have to use file to sharpen it again, and I might be a little bit too critical which kind of chips are flying from the wood when I'm sawing, because I know when there is more dust than chips itself, your blade, well, it's not a blade, it's a tooth, but the tooths start to be a dull, even if it feels to your hand that it's very sharp. That if you do like fast swipe movement, you will get cuts. Okay, yeah, that is what could happen. We are only fleshlings, and these metals are, even they are dull, they are still sharp enough to make wounds to our hands. But anyway, I am sharpening this chain. Should I? Well, I should. This doesn't have to be done every single time you are doing your tree felling, but you have to consider which kind of wood you have been sawing, and was there any dirt top of it, under it, whatever, or did your blade take a contact to the ground, something like that, or in the rocks. There is lots to cover what is going on when these blades are doing their job, and if something happens. There is this professional people that make perhaps better, way better presentation, how you can keep up and upkeep and so on with these blades and this whole saw. but this is mine version of this sharpening job, and so on. Anyway, there is this one angle. I will show it to you much more closer. This is the tooth that does the chips, and this is the tooth angle. This, well, I don't know its name straightforward, but the meaning of that little thing is when it's contacting the tree before this tooth, it will change its angle for the tooth to get to do its job. The lower the point, the more it will eat and the more it will thrust out this machine. So bigger machines can eat lots and lots more and faster these trees than these maybe smaller ones, because of they have this more horsepower and so on. But like this is new blade. What did I only do to this front tooth, or what it's called? I will filed 3 times. 3 times change the tooth and make that all the way. That it's same depth at this, that they are like the same level, and it's straight, not any steep angles or anything else. That some professionals already said, what the heck, but bear with me. These things are just for those who want make precise sharpening, but this one is make do. It will work. So it doesn't have to be like these some guiding tools that make you file your angles steeper, or, well, depends on the wood. But the straight filing does this, that it will eat more. So every new blade should go this. You don't have to do anything else, but just file this at least 3 times. And depends on how good quality file you have. The chips that are removing from this tooth head, well, do that only to the new file 3 or 5 times per tooth. And when you are starting to see that it's not chipping anymore, it's more like dusting. It is, and another thing is it won't cut straight. Even you are putting its blade going like this, it start to go like this or this, meaning some tooth, or let's just say some side is sharper than the other side. So the dull side, if it's going left, I mean, well, it's right to you, but my left, it's when it's doing this, the left side tooths, this side, are duller than this right side. That's why it's going like this. This is, well, it won't going like this, but you know what I'm meaning. And same thing if it's going this way. So if it's going to do that, well, you are way late for your chainsaw sharpening. But if you are maintaining these in a, let's just say, like every second time you are in the woods, and it won't touch ground or do anything like dulling. You are hitting it to rock or anything, and as long it will show that wood chips are big or whatever the shape is. So by maintaining these tools regularly, it will keep that sawing experience and the cutting itself very smooth, because you don't have to make so much sharpening that you are wearing some of these tools much more than they are need to be sharpened, because you are doing this by hand and not machine. Well, at least I am doing. So let's put this in a vise that I don't have to keep it in my hand. Like so, it will stay in the place, and I can rotate this chain by hand. And before we are doing anything sharpening, there is this another thing. Excuse me, burping again. This saw blade itself, meaning this. If you are feeling, you can feel this with your nails by doing, I'm lifting this blade chain away. When you are feeling this blade's edge with your nails, if you are feeling some edges that it gets stuck, in this case I have been done that there is no any sharp edges or this metal pulled, it will build up some kind of edge here. And if you are feeling that it won't, well, let's just say it like this, it doesn't affect your cutting just yet if you are feeling this, well, shoulder, if you mind. But if you are not taking care when you are feeling that there is this shoulder, both sides and under and top of this blade, the thing is that shoulder start pulled up like this, this shape. And when you are making a cut, as long these tools are eating the wood, you won't notice anything. But when the blade is going to go in the logs or wood, that shoulder start making this blade wider than these tools chain is. And if you are catching my drift, you are trying to saw with your blade, not your chain. So make sure that your blade doesn't have these shoulders whenever you are sawing. And if you are feeling some kind of small shoulder, it won't affect anything, but don't let it pull up, because you are making problems for yourself and perhaps to the chainsaw itself. And that was the first thing that I had to mention. And these tools itself, like I said, if you are maintaining these regularly, the filing is pretty fast to do, both sides. And I don't know how good this camera is and how, okay, there's this battery coming away. extra battery. I mean, come on now, behave. This blade and these tools, some of might have and some might not have. But I don't know how good is the wear point. There is this small marking. The point of this marking is being this one, if you can see, zooming somewhat. This marking will tell you the angle that you need to use with your file, and it will go both sides. It will tell you straight away the angle which you need to follow, and you have to follow those. Okay, there are these professional people, they have their own opinions and they will know what they are talking about. I'm not making any accusations or I'm not arguing, but I am like this normal person. I'm not any kind of professional woodsman, but basic things are basic things with which decides how this blade is, I mean chainsaw, is performing in the woods or in your yard, everywhere, whenever you are sawing, making a cut, so on. So if your blade does not have these, there are some that doesn't, well, things will become complicated if you are without any knowledge how you can like be a precise from the angle that you are using, and be a constant. Even if you have sharpening 5 tools, and even after that you have been within same angle, then you are doing something right. But if you are using some kind of assisting tool, they will help you in those cases that doesn't show these markings. So there's few points that you have to check before you can start filing your blades. And the next thing that maybe someone or maybe nobody has been talking is when you are checking this what kind of let's just say what kind of in situation this blade is in, like right now. Meaning these are hardened metals, these tools at least, to the point that if they are bended, if this like this 7, there are many kinds of, but this is like a number 7, that profile. If that profile is bended like this or even this, that will mean if there is a few tools that are like so, well, it will somewhat affect your cuts, but it's not end of the world. But you have to take a consider to change that blade, I mean this chain to new one or the spare one. Why? Well, you cannot at least without heating this red hot to bend it back to the straight lane that this blade. It will snap off, and well, after that tooth is a goner. But if it's bent, it's a goner again. It won't cut as it should. So before you are filing, make sure that your chain has at least the teeth what there should be, and buy new one or put the spare one if you have, because it will affect the saw's performance and the cutting experience, and made you go lose your mind if you are trying to fight against bad chain. So don't make things harder for yourself or the machine that you are using. So keeping eye on the blade itself, the shoulders, and if there is every tooth and so on. After that you can start to make filings, and when you are done you can check this how tight this blade is. In my case you can see there is now a huge free play, way too much, but look what I can do. There is this the tooth blade inside here, inside that cover. There is this I don't know what's called, but the tooth gear, if you mind, is grabbing on this. There is these tooths that will get grabbed by that wheel. There is always a free play more in some spot than the another one. So the spot that goes this very loose doesn't matter. This is not the if this was the see-through, I could tell you what is going on inside here, why it is so loosened, and the next thing that you know, it's not like there is this spot like so, and now it's okay. We don't have to make any well, that might be another video. This is sharpening video, so anyway, but you have to consider to sharpen after you are sharpened your chainsaw, tighten it a little bit. But if you have done before sharpening, it's okay. If you know what you are doing. So, like in my case, this is already okay. I can start sharpen. So I decide to sharpen this right side first. So I've been maintaining this, and I don't know, you may or may not. I will put you in here, maybe you can see it better. What the heck is going on? And well, I might be in the way anyway, but you will see what I'm doing, or hopefully you're seeing. So you can compare your file angle by putting it to top of the tooth before you are filing, that the angle is right. So the first filing is somewhat primitive, depends how badly it is dulled. In my case, that was a dull. You did see how it did resistance my movements and so on. And now that I have been sharpened that, I will make a marking that I know that beyond this everything else is still unsharpened. I have better pattern markers there, but I will know when I see this color that this is the first tooth that has gone through the sharpening. So next one. Somebody that uses these machines, my personally opinion is that you can use whatever you want or like. I don't have any experience of those machines. I've been done manual filing like my whole life, so this one is a little bit duller than it should have been. But like in this emergency tree felling video, I already saw that this is dull. And this is really getting this has been taking a beating. Okay. Oh, like I told you. Small cut to my finger. Well, not end of the world. Sharp enough to make wounds, but not enough to make wood go chipped. And like this tooth, it's way sharper than the previous one. As you can see. Well, this is normal. Nothing new that when you are doing blade sharpening there is some badly damaged. Anyway, how the file is behaving in these situations will tell you how dull that blade has or is, and middle or before, middle and after you are filing. What is going on? Oh, nice. Bleeding out. Come on now. I'm not making any excuse to cut this video right now. But yeah, like this tooth. This is way sharper, even if that previous one was, and so on. The less this stacking, the better is the overall sharpening quality. Like I said, if you have to grind this tooth chassis more than there is necessary, you will wear out your whole blade faster than it. Well, these things last if you maintain this blade regularly. Like this tooth, it's a little bit duller because of this. Even if I'm keeping it to be in place, it will making some kind of resistance to the file. And make sure that you are using file that is new. And by new I mean it's not these fins are not bended in. You can file this pretty long, and how you can decide is it okay or not. Put your finger nail to it and you're sharpening, well, I'm sharpening this way, that way, opposite direction, and do this. If it's making your nail go away, and you can feel it, there is a fins that will take metal. This is okay. And if you can like do easily this way, I mean this way, but as fast, and there is now like your fingernails are still there, throw away your file. It has done its job and need to be replaced, maybe sooner than later. So like you saw, how did my finger get a cut? Be careful. These things might make a huge cut, even if they are not so sharp that you want them to be. And like I said, this saw will pretty much show you very fast how it will perform in a cutting situation, and like a tree felling situations. And already here is the tooth that has gone, the sharpening. This is not a long blade and not long chain. This is pretty fast to do, like I already stated. And you can do this while you are in the woods. This is like a field maintenable. But this has seen sharper day, this blade, than it is now. Even it will cut my finger. It is dull, believe me. Now, here is the market tooth, and now I will change the side. Now this other side will get sharpened. Same thing. There is this angle, excuse me, this angel, yeah, angle. And there might be some professional sharpeners that will tell us or correct me, but when you are filing this top side angle, there is also this, you are doing like this or even this, meaning. So I'm not covering that in this video, but those who can correct me or if I am wrong, but there is a slight knowledge about why you should file your tooths more like this or upper. So basically middle line is try to keep it straight, no any under or upper angles. Only this angle is important for basic user. I mean, those who do these kinds of jobs, do their professional day-to-day jobs, they will perhaps know much more why you should do any other way angles. And if you are wondering why I'm making every single time I'm changing the tooth, I'm making this alignment again, is that I can state that I have been filing this tooth in the past at least somewhat as I should. But as you can see, this left side tooths are way better condition than this right side was. As you can see, I haven't been cutting myself from this other side's tooth because they are not putting as much resistance to this filing operation that this another side was. Like so. Doesn't have been that much. That was the enough filing amount. And as you can see, it's starting to chip stuff into my hand. Meaning file is doing its job. And it wasn't user error from this right side, now that we are in same side. These were better condition than this left side was. So, as you can see, I'm not the professional, but there is some knowledge in my possession that I've been used through my life. So, this is what I've been doing. You don't have to follow the things that I'm suggesting. This is only from my experience. And thus far I've been surviving, so I'm done something right. And here is the tooth that has been already sharpened, so I have to sharpen 2 tooths and I'm done. And there is no any limit if you are not let's just say there is not well, this right side, like I showed you how much that make a resistance what I did to it. If you are not confident enough that, or you cannot state that you are believing that it's enough sharp, there is no limit how many times you can or should sharpen this. If you are feeling it's okay, well, you have to trust yourself. But if you have doubts, sharpen that side that has done this, that you can be sure that it's okay. I will show you one more time. And this side can be in a bad condition still. We will see. This is little bit. This is okay. Won't give any resistance. This is little bit hard to try. This is maybe no, it's not bent. So if it's bent, that might occur that it won't sharpen it without any hassle. But you have to just carefully try to sharpen it. There might be some small gaps inside this groove in this teeth that makes that file is not going so smoothly. But I did get it going to go smoothly. And let's see this another one. Same thing. Almost. Take your time. It's not a race to sharpen. And now that I almost have this back side is making this so much harder. There is a little angle that is going against me. Okay. Next one, same thing. Okay, start to get better. This has same thing almost that behind the backside, or this the end of this tooth. There is a little bend that will go against their back. Anyway, yeah, but I am confident enough that I will state that this is sharp enough with some badly damage. Well, I'm not bleeding anymore. Anyway, as you did saw, this sharpening thing is somewhat doable without any, like, let's just say, super professional knowledge. But if you own these chainsaws and, well, it's starting to rain, let's go inside. Like so. You are owning a machine that will do its job very well if you are maintaining it. Like changing chains, changing these blades, taking care of this front. There is a bearing that it will go straight, and that this chain is not too tight. Remember, when it's gaining heat, it will expand. And if it's too loosen, so that this chains tightening is not too tight, it will wear out both of these front and back bearings much more faster pace. Oh, I'm taking that. It's starting to rain, seriously. So that you are not wearing out your bearings, because, well, blade can be renewed very easily. Just take this cover off and this blade will go away. Pretty much that. But if you have to renew this motor side bearing, that would be a much more harder to do. So do not tighten this too tight. And another thing is, this blade, at least in this still saw, is one tightening spot. There is, I don't have this another saws with me in here, but most of bigger saws has these two points where they are being locked in. So the blade that you are sliding in and making your adjustments will stay at the place after tightening. But like in this occasion, or this machine has little bit different story. I can show you or try to show you. When this is loosened enough, and this can move up and down very easily. Make sure before you are tightening this nut, I don't know, can you see it? Just are lightning problems. So that nut is going to be tightened, but make sure that you are lifting this blade up, and after you are keeping that up, tighten this so tight that it's closed in. Why? Well, when you are making a cut and you are pressing down your blade against the wood, well, as you can see what is going on, the blade wants to come up, of course. Well, when it's already in the most top position that it can be, and you have been tightening that up, it won't go any higher. And after that you can make this chain adjustment, so the blade's movement won't affect this chain's tightening process anymore. But like I said, this is for this machine what I have been learned, and it had worked perfectly. Nothing problem after that. And if it's like a Husqvarna or John Jarrett, there is lots of these brands. But if they have this 2-spot tightening nuts, this what I just told you won't affect them, because they are where they are. When you are sliding it in and tightening it up, it will stay there, no matter the pressure, how much you are doing this kind of pressure, pressing it down. But the single ones that are smaller, okay, they are there. Well, it's not a fault. Let's just say it is its property almost. But if you know what you are doing and preventing that blade's movement, you are pretty much having a good blade with a good chain to it, and it will stand a lot of beating, I mean using. And as you can see, when this paint is coming off, it's not a bad thing. It will just telling that it's done its job pretty much like it is being designed to do. If there is coloring, like a, let's just say green, violet, blue, that indicates something is going wrong, if you are catching what I'm meaning. Because the coloring of the blade can tell you that you are drying your blade. There is oil, lubrication oil. You are drying out your whole lubrication system, overheating it, and whatsoever. But something is wrong. And that coloring also can mean you have been pretty much destroyed some properties of that blade, and even the chain that is still using same time. But it's not always the case, but it is indication something is going wrong. make sure that you always have lubrication, and even if you have it, make sure that it will replicate. It won't help if you have full can of oil that doesn't go anywhere. So you can test it. If it's lubricating, you will start your chainsaw, put it, I will show you like this, toward something that you can see what is going on, and you are just revving it. And if there is this oil line that appears when you are revving empty chainsaw like this, if there is coming some kind of oil line, everything is okay. It's lubricating. Nice. Something is done okay. So, if you are changing your chains, now you know what to do. Remember this front tooth, only file 3 or 5 times and do the same all the way. And if you want to keep your blade good as long as possible, maintain it regularly. File it like I show you. It won't take much of your time. But if you are maintaining it like huge distances between the sharpening, this can occur very easily, as you can saw what I did to myself. But yeah, even my maintain schedule, that was, let's just say, little too long. But if you have these long blades, I don't remember how long this is. Is there even markings in this side? There might be in markings, but they are inside this covered. Inside that, like in here, that they are in a safe place, that they won't like come off when this blade or saw is being used long periods of time. Yeah. And another thing that has come to mind, and when I have been seeing people talking about how these blades and holding is maintained and so on, I did not notice, at least I don't remember. Nobody has told anybody. When you know this blade has, no, how you can see it. When this blade thickness, or how do we say it, the width is gone so much that it's starting to affect how your blade is going on in this. There is a groove in middle of this blade. That if it's gone, like let's just say 3 mils plus 3 millimeters away, you have been grinding so much. You can tell when it's way too wearing out is if you can start see these blades, these chain blades, this foot, or what you are calling it, the inner tooth, when it's tightened at its place, like now. If you cannot see that inner tooth, everything is okay. But in the case, if you are seeing, well, I show you, this is the, well, how I can say it, this is, well, I don't say anything else, but this is the thing that I am anyway, I'm trying to show you. that this is a round and this belongs here. This is normal. But if you start seeing these inner tooths like this, no, you can see it. Which way? Anyway, sorry. This inner tooth are showing in the middle of here, somewhere, or at the under. Meaning this inner tooth start the height of this tooth is higher than this groove which in that inner tooth is rolling on. Meaning that your blade has wear off so much that it is the time to renew that whole blade. You have been taking care of that these shoulders that has appeared time to time in usage. It's normal. Like I said, if you are keeping sure that it will receive lubrication, you are prolonging its life so much. So now if somebody did or does not have the knowledge when to change the blade, well, there is much reasons when you have to renew that, bending, some accident, anyway. But the normal without any damage kind of situation, that is the indication to change maybe your chain even, or if that's okay, you have to replace just the blade itself. And when it's new, and you can slap that old chain to place, and you can state by checking what I show you how it should work. You can state it's okay to use that old used chain. The next thing, there might be someone that has been told that already, but nevertheless, same thing. For the blade itself, if you have been so good at that you are not, excuse me, that you are not wearing out the blade itself, both this blade and this chain is they are this renewable stuffs, so they will be replaced in some time in this machine's life, perhaps. But the chain itself, there is this pins. Every tooth has a pin which makes it to go like this chain. Well, otherwise, what it could be if it's not a chain. There is this, well, I don't know, can you see it, how clearly or not? And good thing this is now so much loosened that I can show you. If you are starting to see that this the bottom of this chains is closing on this pin, well, this is indication that this blade, even if it's got good or so much teeth to left to use, well, I can tell you, do not drive this chain all the way to the pin. Why? Well, of course, that goes very well. Have you ever seen the flying chainsaw blade? It's not blade, it's chainsaw chain that comes out of the machine with the full force. Well, that is what is going to happen if you drive this. There is much this material to wear out. But you have to look, like I have said, you have to state that you are okay to drive this with this blade and the chain. There are small things that you have to consider before you are using your chain. It won't wear out fast, I can tell you that, because like I said, these chains are hardened to the point that they are very, well, extremely wear resistant. But even so, in the time you are using these things, they will wear out both, even the machine, okay. But doing things somewhat right, you are prolonging the life of the whole thing so much. And the blade and the chain is not, well, I don't know. In the Finnish, there is cheap series. There is very costly one, of course, but I have this, let's just say middle price range, if you mind. Cheap one is okay too. There is some that this file cannot sharpen, meaning that chain is somewhat or better quality, or it is, let's just say, hardened much more than it had to be. And if you happen to have that kind of chain, that this good new file cannot do anything, you try to file it, it just don't chip off anything from it, then you might want to use, there is this small grinder versions of this sharpening arsenal. It is small grinding wheel, like a small grinding this grinder itself, but you just put it on, put it down, and move it forward, do the same thing. Then you will change the side and do, or there is so much those machines that you can use. But that is the only occasion when I would use machine. Well, of course, if I want to use the blade and I cannot sharpen it by hand, well, you can even throw it away, or if you want to use it, you have to have something that can sharpen it. That machine will sharpen everything, even your own cooking blades if you want to use it, but it's for these chainsaws. So that is the knowledge somewhat for the blade and the chain itself. Maybe too much information, I don't know how you guys like it, hear it. The more you know, that I don't know is it better or not. But like I said, there is a people who knows much more than I do, and I'm not arguing with you guys who knows better. I would like to hear what you know. Comment, like, and follow me. I appreciate those comments. If you are doing some kind of talking about, do I speak nonsense or not? Well, in my case it's not nonsense, because it works. So there is things that look out before doing anything. You are doing service to yourself and perhaps to the machine, and it's safer to know that you are capable to maintain, and you know what hazards might occur if you do not make any well, if you are just using these machines and don't want or know what to do with them, those people who just use them and doesn't want to maintain, well, I have to say there is people that kind of, and well, we cannot do anything about those people other than like me can whine about it. But when something happened and you start to rewind why this happened, your blade just broke off the middle of here or somewhere, and it whips your feet. If it breaks from here with full force, there is this whole blade full of perhaps sharp teeth that come from towards the machine to user. And if you are using this way, I mean, I will present what's going to be happening. If you are using it like this, where do you think that change is going to toward? If it's going to break from here and you are using this way, I would say if you are man and you are not using any downstairs protection, well, let's just say your stuff might have some tooth marking in them, and well, so on, and what else. But anyway, humor. Some part that is not humor. When that blade will broke and fly off, it is a, let's just say, one heck of a whip. Steel whip full of freaking sharp tooth. Even they are dull. I'm not bleeding anymore. Yay. Yeah. Even if you have this all kinds of safety gear equipment on yourself, it won't prevent by any means if you are not maintaining or at least paying attention how your blade and your chain is performing. And as a user, you perhaps in a Finnish most cases, the user is responsibility all the damage that can occur if you are no, well, let's just say you are not paying attention to the machines, or in this case this chainsaw, and how that well-being of this chainsaw has, what kind of state it is in right now, before or after the sharpening and so on. So that kind of video. There might be some things that I should cover, but if you guys like see some more, I can talk to them things like air cleaner, spark plug. There is lots of stuff how you can troubleshoot if your machines is not starting and so on and so forth. I have been maintaining this saw, works like a new, nothing bad to say. It is a small one. I have bigger ones to do the really hefty work, and this one is this, let's just say middle. It is not the smallest, but it's in the middle in this this chainsaw level. This is like so light that you are capable to use this with one hand, basically. So, hopefully you did like this video. Like I said, leave a comment. It is appreciated. And follow me to next projects. I will see what I am doing next. Or editing video, I don't know. But anyhow, see you in next video. Thanks for watching. And follow me if you like this content. So, see you. Bye bye.